So, hi everyone. I'm hoping you guys are doing great, and welcome to day 8 of this session. And here we are going to discuss the power of Python in data science. So, before going ahead, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Ashish Jangra. I'm one of the mentor here at Geeks4Geeks of data science course. So, before jumping ahead, I would like to know from you guys, like if everything is going fine or not, the audio, the video. If you are having an issue, you can say, and at the meantime you can also share this session with your students in the group of the WhatsApp where you are having some of your friends. They will definitely find it helpful, because we are going to discuss about a lot in the field of data science. We are going to discuss about the exact pathway you should have to become a data scientist, to become a data analyst, how you can learn these things. And at the end, we are also having a special announcement for you guys. So stay tuned for that. That is going to be really exciting. So kindly share that in the chats and also let me know if everything is going fine or not. Just show some enthusiasm, guys. Okay, Prashant is there. Hi, Prashant. Madhu is there. Okay, that's nice. Hi, Arun. Hello. So, okay. Hello. Hi, Saurabh. Great. So, this session is going to be of next 40 to 45 minutes on average. And if you guys are having any question about anything in the field of data science or Python, you can mention that in the chats as well. We are going to take the questions from you as well. Hi, Arun. Hi, Raghuram, Abhishek, Punima, Adit, Richard. That's nice. Hi, everyone. So just keep showing the enthusiasm in the chats. And good evening, Priya. So let's do one thing. Let's discuss about data science. Okay. So first of all, why data science? Just let me know, guys, in the chats, why data science only? Why not other field? I would like to know from you guys what are your thoughts about data science. And I would like to take my point as, because data science is, or data science, or in terms of as AI, is having the potential to revolutionize a lot of field. Not specific to tech, but let's suppose you are from the agriculture department, and if you know how AI works, you can integrate AI with your agriculture field, in your agriculture field, and make better application that can predict like how the crop will be, like based on the picture of a leaf of the plant. They can see, okay, what are the deficiency that plant might have. So this is just one example how AI is having the power of revolutionizing all the other fields, right? And same, you can mention your field, how AI can be used in your field of choice, right? Okay, so widely used in the industry. That's great, Madhu. So let's do one thing. Let me take you to the ideal plan. Okay, how data science work? What are the things that you need to have sorted? So for that purpose, I'm going to write those things in a notepad, and at the end of the session, I'm going to share that plan with you as well. I'll give you some of the resources where we are having a couple of projects. You can go there and you can see how those projects works, and those are going to be really nice level of projects. Okay, so let me share the screen. So I'm hoping the screen is visible to you. Okay, and this is where we are going to write the plan. Let me zoom a little bit in. Okay, so that is going to be more than enough. So as you know, data science is a pretty vast domain, right? So to work on data science, you need to have a knowledge in a lot of different domains. I'm going to divide end of the session. I'm also going to share this repository with you. Okay, so I'm going to divide this whole thing into 4 chapters. Okay, why this 4 chapters only? I'll also tell you, and you can also tell me why these 4 chapters only. I'm going to talk about the 4 major chunks. Okay, so the first chapter is where I will say the chapter 1. So chapter 1 is going to be Python for data science. Okay, now, why Python for data science? Why not any other programming language? Okay, most of the things, most of the things in the field of data science that you are going to do, you are going to do it with Python. Okay, as we proceed further, we are going to see, okay, how many tools we are having, how many things you need to learn, and in how many those things data science is being used. We are going to discuss about that. Okay, so let's go back to the code only and let's see. So Python for data science. Python for data science are also having two things. One is core Python, okay, and second is Python specifically for data science. Python specifically for data science. Okay, so just don't take the spelling mistake seriously because we are having some AI tools that can like get rid of these pretty easily. Okay, so what comes under core Python? Core Python is the Python that most of the student knows how variable works. So even if you know any programming language, learning Python is pretty easy. It is one of the easiest language to learn. Okay, because it's not having the constraint to define a variable. You don't need to write int. There's no like I would say brackets there. All you need to just take care is indentation. A lot of things are already predefined. So that's why learning it is pretty easy. Okay. So if I'm talking about core Python, in core Python you are having all the things like data types and loops and data structures. Okay. Now there is one very important thing that I am not writing. Okay. Can anyone tell me what is that thing? So DSA is something that I'm not writing here. So DSA is needed, but some of the student are having a misconception how much DSA is needed. Okay. So when I'm writing DSA, I'm mostly focusing on DSA of list and dictionaries. Okay. And I'll explain you guys as well why only the DSA in list and dictionaries. Okay. So most of the time, what will happen? Okay. Now, why DSA in list and dictionary only? When you're working on a data set. Okay. So the data set can be in the SQL format or in the NoSQL based database, right? Either SQL or NoSQL. In SQL, we are having lists, tables to be more specific, structured data we are going to have. We are having rows, we are having columns, all the things are in the tables only. And if you look closely, list is nothing but a table. A 2D list is nothing but a table. We are having rows, we are having columns. That's what a table looks, right? So if you know how to master list, how to manipulate the rows and columns and fetching the different values through indexing and through direct values, you can easily do rest of the things. So that is why mastering list is very important. Okay. And next, dictionaries. Now, if I'm talking about no SQL based databases, so no SQL based databases, we are having JSON objects where all the things are just like we are saving in dictionaries. The key value pairs, key, a value. A value can have another key value pair and then another key value pair. Okay, like to give you an example, I'm going to take one of my favorite data set. Just give me a second. Okay. So one of my favorite data set is, if I am going to data set, if I'm talking about NoSQL one, that's the restaurant data of Swiggy. If you look closely, I'll just give you a glimpse, okay, how JSON or unstructured databases work. Here we are also having some reference codes where a lot of people have written the codes on this data set. So you can go through these codes as well to have a better understanding how these thing works. Here I'm telling you about the free resources, how you can learn about the things. Okay, now let me give you a glimpse about the data set. If you know what is a dictionary or how JSON works, so this is, here you can see we are having data.json. This is of 1 GB. You can see how huge this file is, 1.05 gigs of file. Okay, in this file we are having different cities. In all those different cities we are having couple of restaurants. Each restaurant is having an ID. If I'm going through any restaurant ID, here we are having the name of the restaurant, the rating of the restaurant, how many people have rated this restaurant, the cost, the address, the cuisine, the license number, right? If I'm going deeper into menu, in menu as well, we are having different cuisines, different kind of dishes that they are serving. If I'm going for, let's suppose, green salad, it is giving an option which are the kind of green salads they are having. If I'm going to green salad, onion salad, it is telling me what is the price of onion salad. So you can see how deep we are digging. In core Python, a key value pair we are having in dictionaries, but here you can see how much deeper we are going. We are going 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We are going 7 levels deep into a data set. And here you can see how big the data set is, how huge the data set is. So far, we are just discussing about these two things. So working on DSA with the list and dictionaries are most important. Most of the data set are going to be in the same way. If you know how to master the art in both of the things, you can easily do rest of the things. Okay. So far talking about the core Python, this is what you need to have. So far, I'm just talking about core Python. Okay, now let's discuss about what you need to have in Python specifically for data science. In Python specifically for data science, you need to have a knowledge in NumPy. You need to have a knowledge in operating system library as well. You need to have a knowledge about file handling, how files works. Okay, you need to have a knowledge in operating system command or terminal. Okay, these are the 4 core topics that you need to have a knowledge in. Okay, and so far I'm talking about chapter 1. In chapter 1, Python for data science, these are the 2 major things that you need to have. Okay, now let's go to chapter 2. Okay, what do you need to have in chapter 2? Now I call chapter 2 as data analysis. Okay. Most of the data scientists that now working has started their journey as a data analyst, Okay, so Sanko is saying, why do we need to use Linux? Okay, so if I'm talking about the terminal command, okay, so in terminal or in Windows, we are having a different terminal. So in CMD, we are having command line interface. In Windows, we are having Linux is all about the commands that we are using. I'm using Mac OS, so if you are having a command in terminal, that's more than enough. Okay, now in data analysis, as I told you, most of the data scientists have started their career as a data analyst. Okay, so data analysis is one of the core things that everyone that has somewhere or another working in any type of data need to have a knowledge of data analysis. Now, data analysis also I'm dividing into multiple parts. Okay, in data analysis you can perform data analysis with Python. Okay, data analysis with Python. You can do it with Python, and to do it with Python, you can use the tools like Pandas. You can use Matplotlib for plotting the things. You need to learn statistics. You need to have a good knowledge in probabilities. Okay. And after that, Matplotlib is and after that, there are a lot of libraries we can use for plotting the things for data visualization. Like we are having Seaborn, we are having Plotly to make beautiful visualization. Okay, and apart from that, these are some of the libraries I have missed that I have written. But you also need to have a knowledge in exploratory data analysis. Okay, you have a knowledge of how to pre-process the data, or we call it as data pre-processing. Once you are having the data set, you need to have a knowledge of how data pre-processing can be done. You need to have a knowledge of handling different types of data, right? Handling different data sets. So these are some of the knowledge that you need to have. Apart from that, there are some other topics as well, but this is the core thing I'm talking about. Loading the data, pre-processing the data, analyzing the data, exploratory data analysis. These are some of the core things. Okay. Now, some of the people are also thinking data analysis with Python. Apart from data analysis with Python, the same thing can also be done with data analysis with R. Okay, so the people who want to go with R, so data analysis can also be done with R. Either of the language works. It's not about you need to have a knowledge in both of them. Even if you have a knowledge in one of them, that works. Okay, so in chapter 2, these are the 2 things that we have discussed so far. Now, what is the third thing? Third thing that you need to have a knowledge is in Excel, MS Excel, Microsoft Excel. Okay. So why MS Excel? So MS Excel, because most of the time when you are having the data in MS Excel format, you don't need to load the data in Python and start writing the code, because a lot of things you can easily do in Python as in MS Excel as well. Okay, you can pre-process the data, you can make beautiful visualization, make the dashboards on Excel itself. So that's why companies are also asking for MS Excel. So you need to have a knowledge in MS Excel as well. This is also a roadmap to become a data analyst. Okay. So after MS Excel, what else you need to have? After MS Excel, you can learn SQL. SQL is also very, very important. Okay. Why SQL is important now? SQL is important because most of the time, the data is in the databases. Okay. And once the data is in the database and you need to pre-process it, analyze it, making the dashboard, or performing a lot of things on this data set, you need to have the language, the queries that you can run to fetch the data from the databases, to send the data, to manipulate the things. So to perform all these things, we are having SQL here. Okay, so you also need to have, companies are also expecting from you to have a knowledge in SQL. Okay, what's next? Next is we are having Tableau or Power BI. Okay, now either of it works. It's not like you need to have a knowledge in both of them. Okay, now why Tableau or Power BI? So these are some softwares or tools, to be more specific, where you can just drag and drop the software, and through applying the filters without writing any code, you can analyze the data set, pre-process the data set, visualize and making the beautiful dashboards without writing any code. Okay, they are very widely used in making the dashboards to present the things to the end user, to the manager or the stakeholders. Okay, so Tableau and Power BI are the tools which are used here. Okay, it's not like you are having the, you need to have a knowledge in both of them. Either of it works. If you are having a knowledge in Tableau, you can easily learn Power BI if company is asking for it. That depends upon the company, which kind of license companies are using. Okay, if they are using the Tableau license, you need to use Tableau, otherwise Power BI. Okay, last but not the least, where most of the people are lagging, is web scraping. At the end, I am also going to tell you the tools, tell you the ways you can learn. Okay, the resources. Sorted. Now, what is web scraping? Web scraping is basically a way how you can collect the data from the internet. Okay, for example, if you want to analyze what are all the places where Swiggy is having their restaurants listed. How many restaurants are there in Delhi? How many restaurants are there in Mumbai or any big city or any small cities? How many restaurants in total Swiggy is having hosted? What is the average price of a dish of, let's suppose, a plate of chole bhature in Delhi as compared to the average price of a chole bhature in Mumbai? Okay, what is the best selling dish which most of the restaurants are serving in Mumbai? What is the dish that most of the restaurants are serving in Delhi? Right. So these are a lot. These are some of the things they can analyze if you are having the data set. And most of the time, what happened? These kind of data set might not be available on the internet. So what you need to do? You need to go to the website and you need to collect the data. You might need to scrape the data. And to scrape the data, this is one of the data set that I have scraped. Okay, this is having the list of almost all the restaurant at that point of time when I was writing the code. I have written the code and I've published this data set, and it is updated almost 9 months ago. So it is having that data set. Once you are having the data set, you can start working on it. But in some of the cases, you might not be able to have the data set. So you need to have the knowledge how you can create the data set by your own. I'm going to share with you a lot of resources how you can collect the data set, a lot of codes that will help you to collect the data set by your own. Okay, so these are almost all the things, most of the things that companies are expecting from you if you are appearing for a data analyst. Okay, so chapter 2 is over. Now, if I'm going ahead, there are 2 more chapters I need to have a knowledge of. Now, what is chapter 3? Chapter 3 is machine learning. Okay. So chapter 3 is machine learning. Now, what we are having in machine learning? Machine learning is basically, as the name suggests, we are teaching computers to make decisions from the data. Right? We are having data, and like the data that we just had, that I have showed you. Okay. Now the same kind of data you are having, you want your machine to go through the data set and predict from the data set. Those algorithms comes under machine learning, where machines are learning from the data set. Okay, there are a lot of terminologies comes Here you need to have a knowledge, like if I'm going closely, you need to have a knowledge in, let me write here only because chapter 3 is something you need to have calculus, algebra. You need to have a knowledge in maths behind the algorithm. So whatever algorithm I am going to write, classification based algorithms and regression based algorithms. Okay, so these are basically two types of algorithm that we are having. Okay, we are having classification based algorithm where we are classifying between couple of classes, and regression based algorithm where we are not basically classifying the exact values or exact classes, but we are classifying a frequent value. For example, if I want to know if the price will go up or down tomorrow, so there are two classes, either up or down, two fixed classes, two fixed output it can have. It can either go up or down. So this is a classification based problem. Similarly, if I am concerned about what will be the price of the stock tomorrow, now the price of the stock is not something that can exactly classify, okay, this is going to be the price. That can be any value in a particular range, right? Any continuous value it can have. That comes under regression based algorithms. Okay, so machine learning comes under here. Machine learning, you need to have a pretty good knowledge in machine learning and maths behind those machine learning algorithms. Okay, now once that part is done, the last chapter, which is my favorite one and where most of the research nowadays going on, which is deep learning. Deep learning or neural network, both of the things are the same. Okay, now why deep learning or neural network? Now deep learning and neural networks are very fascinating because all the applications that you are seeing nowadays, either it's GPT or it's DALI or any language model you are talking about, all of them are the application of deep learning. Now what is deep learning? Deep learning is basically a field where we are cloning how we learn in the computers. For example, if I'm writing, so a fixed set of neurons in my brain activates. If I'm writing, if I'm learning, if I'm reading, if I'm dancing, if I'm singing, if I'm listening, all these different tasks activate a different set of neurons in my brain. And that's how we learn. That when we start learning, new connections are going to build, right? So the same kind of approach we are also cloning in computers. We are giving them data, we are creating a network. So we are going to pass the data through the networks, and the more data we pass, the better it will learn. We are going to create some neurons, multiple layer of neurons, and when the data is passing through that, you will learn it in the machine. The neural network will learn the data in a better manner and to make the decisions better. Okay, and this is a pretty fascinating field. Okay, now in deep learning, it's all about neural network. Okay, so gradient descent, I'm just adding some of the topics here. Okay, but you need to have a core knowledge of. In deep learning, you need to have a core knowledge of how neural network works. Okay, forward propagation, same go for backward propagation. You also forward and backward. Let's write forward and backward propagation, how these things works. Gradient descent, how weight optimizations can be done, and how different layer works, working of different layers. Okay. And on top of that, all of the fields, you need to have a knowledge of the projects, how these things works in implementation. Okay. Now in chapter 4 of deep learning, now deep learning is also having multiple modules. Okay. For example, deep learning is having computer vision. In deep learning only we are having part which is computer vision. Okay. But how we learn? Wait, I'm going to tell you all the resources, wherever, whatever it requires. I'm going to share with the projects as well. But let's discuss about the plan, and then I'll tell you where to get the data set, where to work, what are all the projects you are having, and at the end, I've told you we are having some special offers for you as well. Okay. So Mehtab Singh, for industry point of view, do we need to have a knowledge at all of those topics, or this is for the specific purpose? Okay. For a data scientist, you need to have a knowledge of all the four domains, all the four chapters. For a data analyst, first two chapters are more than enough. For a data analyst, okay, definitely to become a data analyst in a pharma-based company, you need to have a knowledge in some of the pharma terms as well. To work on the agriculture-based company, you need to have a knowledge in agriculture-based things. Okay, great. So let's jump into the last part. So in deep learning and neural networks, so if I'm applying deep learning or neural networks on vision based things, on images, that is a field called as computer vision. Okay, that is a field called as computer vision. If I'm talking about computer vision, because we are adding deep learning algorithms on computer vision or images or videos. So need to have a knowledge in how to working with images and videos. These are the things that you need to have a knowledge of. Fundamentals of image creation. You need to have a core knowledge on image processing. For image processing, we are having a library called as OpenCV. So that's a very very great library to be more specific to work on these things. And in deep learning, you also need to there are two core library like TensorFlow or Keras, and the second library is PyTorch. Okay. So these are, let me write Keras as well so that people will not get offended. In computer vision as well, we are going to use Keras and OpenCV. OpenCV will help you to pre-process the images, and Keras will basically help you to use these models on the image data. And let me add TensorFlow and PyTorch here as well. Okay, so computer vision is a specific field where we are applying deep learning algorithms on computers, and here we are having some special algorithms, some special architectures. Like we are having convolutional neural networks. We are using different kind of neural networks. Here in deep learning, we are mostly using artificial neural network. Okay, the basic neural networks. We are just flowing the data. Okay, numeric values to be more specific. In computer vision, we are passing the patterns, the texture, because in images the pattern matters, the texture matters. Okay, the edges matters, which are making the images. Okay, last is NLP. Apart from that, you also need to have a knowledge in deployment. So I'll tell you in others part that as well. Others For others, you need to have the knowledge about deployment. For deployment, you can start with Streamlit, you can go for fast, fast API, you can use Flask. So there are a lot of tools that you can use. Okay, and apart from that, the other tools are like you can try to work on how to work on Kaggle. You can try your thing on like GitHub, how GitHub works. You need to have knowledge about Google Colab. Right. So these are some different tools you need to have a knowledge. As you proceed further into these are the things you will get familiar with pretty easily. So in NLP, we are having different kind of stuff. So NLP is basically natural language processing. We are providing language data to the deep learning algorithms. Whenever we are providing text to the language to the deep learning models, that is a field called as natural language processing. Here we are having different kind of algorithms like ANN is a deep learning. In computer vision, we are having an algorithm kind of layer like CNN. Here we are having like LSTM is there, uh, GRU is there. Okay, and at the end we are having a lot of terminologies like word embedding, how word embedding works. Text pre-processing is something that you need to have a knowledge on. Okay, and sentence embedding is also a thing. Word encoding, sentence encoding. So there are a lot of terminology you need to have knowledge in. And as you proceed deeper into these things, so let me tell you about some of the libraries as well. Fast text is something that you can use. You can use Spacey. You can use what else? NLTK is a library that you can use for that. And at the end, when you are started working on the neural networks, so Keras, TensorFlow, PyTorch should be the main things that you need to have a knowledge of for sure. Okay. So these are some of the core things you need to have a knowledge in. Okay. Now to become a data analyst, first two modules are more than enough. Okay, along with the projects. And to work on in the field of data science and go deeper into it, these are the things you need to have a knowledge in. Okay, and if I miss something, you can mention that in the chats as well. So make sure to mention that. And these are some of the other topics that I'm writing. Okay, so let me commit the changes, and I'm going to share this in the chats. Okay, so these are some of the core things that you need to have a knowledge of. Okay, now let's discuss about from where can you get the reference. Okay, now I'm going to give you a reference of the codes, okay, of the snippets which you can go through. All the things are in the GitHub repository only. And at the end, as I have told you, I'm also having something special for you guys. But at the meantime, let me share this link with you first. Okay, so you guys can have this link from the chats. Okay, so I mentioned in the chats. Sorry. Okay, so now from where can you get the reference? From where can you get the code? Okay, now let's discuss one by one how all these things works. Okay, say if I'm presenting some of the free resources and they're already there on my GitHub directly. Okay, so on the GitHub, if you go to repository, a lot of things are already there. Okay, for example, if I'm going for Python, searching on Python. So here you can see data analysis. Uh, let's suppose if you want to work on any, let's start with web scraping. Wix Python is something that you can easily learn. Let's do that. Okay. So here you can see a lot of repositories are there. The project I was talking about, Mintra Product Scraper. If I'm opening this here, here you can see here we are having the whole code, which is needed to scrape the data of all that thing that we are having. Okay, all the thing you can go here and check how product scraper is done. All the codes are pretty neatly written. Okay, so here we are sending the request to the main page. We are finding the product names, and these are the things we are sending the request, getting the response, and saving in the data set. Right, so these are some of the things. Now as you proceed further, you will have a better understanding how all these thing works. Okay, similarly, to work on NLP, the core NLP, we are having a repository specifically for that. Okay, and Geek Hackathon is also currently going on, so make sure to be a part of it if you have knowledge in web development or data science. There's some prize money associated to that as well. Okay, and Geek-O-Lympics is also going on. I'll tell you that as well at the end, like within 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, so to learn about Streamlit, how Streamlit works, how to you can deploy these things, this is the session here. Okay, if you want to know about NumPy, Pandas, those kind of libraries, here we are having dedicated session. Like if you go to NumPy, here we are having a dedicated numpy.ipynb file. We are having almost everything about NumPy, how everything works. Okay, same goes for Pandas, same goes for Matplotlib, same goes for Streamlit. So almost all the things that you can think of, you will need. You are having everything here. Okay, for example, how to scrape the data from ClickBus, about the details. Okay, so these are some of the resources like deep learning. In deep learning, we are having some of the core things. Okay, how all these things works. Similarly for Tableau dataset, and this datasets.csv, which is the core thing that I've shared with you, the main file where we are having the plan. In this plan, here you can see we are also having some of the data sets directly. So what you can do, you can clone this repository, and this repository is having the data set of Airbnbs. So you can load the data set and start working on it. Cooking labels, cricket players, Ghana.com. So Ghana.com is the data set, like it is songs.csv. If you open this, so on this particular raw file, so currently I'm loading in the raw format. So this is having the name, the singer, the ID of the singer, the duration, the link and language. So here you can see Dile Nadan is the song, Tujhe Hua Kya Hai. Chitra Singh and Jagjit Singh was the singer, the legendary singer. These are the IDs of the user, and you can load it in your, like if I click on download and load it, so it will display in a much better format. Okay, so let me download it and then show it to you so that you can see, okay, what I was talking about. Okay, so from opening it here, okay, it was not currently opening. I need to share my whole screen, but you're having a basic understanding, right? And similarly, we are having more such data sets where you can start working on. Okay, now we are also having a data science core plan repository where you can have like the, for example, if I click on data science specialization, so here they are having the repository of weekly plan where you can learn Python, the core things. Okay, but these are these are some of the things where you need to start working on the things by yourself. Okay, obviously by default you need to work on the things by yourself only at the end of the day, but there are two ways to uh, deal with this problem. Okay, if you want to learn anything, there are two ways. First is you can start from scratch. Like I've given you these topics, this is the pathway. Okay, start learning each topic, go to different sources. I've given you some of the sources. I'll paste the github repository, means the github link as well, from where you can get all the different details. Okay, I will also mention the Kaggle link, because on Kaggle as well we are having a lot of data sets where you can start working on. Okay, and a lot of people have written different codes on them as well, right? So there are two ways. First thing is you have the plan, you go to the topic, search on internet, okay, how these topic works, and start learning from this. That is the best way to learn anything. Okay, now the second thing is what you can do. You can take a path. Okay, you can take a guided path. Okay, this is the thing how it should be learned. Okay, so in the guided path you need to have lesser, means it will require you lesser time. It needs lesser time because you're only going to learn the topic which are very much important. But in the other path, you are having the pathway, you'll find 10 topics to learn, but while researching those topics you will find 100 topics to learn as well, and you will also find a lot of topics that you should not go for. Okay, so that was the best way. But if there is any time constraint, so taking the guided way works best. Okay, and from that pipeline only that we have discussed, okay, here you can see most of the things are having core Python. Python is needed. Python specialization, obviously Python is needed. Data analysis, Python and R. Excel is a different tool. Same goes for SQL. Web scraping can be done with Python. Machine learning, Python. Deep learning, Python. Computer vision, Python. NLP, Python. For deployment, Python is one of the core things that you can use. But if you are into web development side, you can use some frameworks in Python only, like Django is there, Flask is there. If you want to go on the development side, you can use React and different frameworks to work with. Kaggle notebook, Python. GitHub, you can post it using terminals. Okay. Google Colab, Python again. Most of the things can be done on Python. And that is what the title says, the power of Python. In data science, most of the things you can do using Python only. Okay. By taking this thing into reference, let me tell you about the two things where we were discussing. Okay, what are the two special things we are having to share with you? Okay, so Deepak is saying why it is booming, data science. Why data science is booming? Okay, so I want you guys to answer this in the chats. Why data science is booming? Why do you think data science is booming? Do write it in the chats. Your thoughts. Why it is booming? There are people saying, okay, it is going to eat a lot of jobs. What are your thoughts on it? Definitely, a lot of jobs will be impacted, but a lot of jobs will be created as well. Okay, and at the end we are going to discuss about the thought process, like what I think about this scenario, about the job losses and how the industry is going to revolve. Now nobody exactly knows how it is going to revolve, but one thing is for sure, it will revolve around the tech field, because tech is having the potential to revolutionizing a lot of the things. Okay, now Sanko Banerjee saying, can we take the data science course by GFG or study from the resources? Okay, so I'm coming to that point now. So there are two special announcements we are having. Okay, first thing is, yes, we are having data science course. Okay, where we are having, well, let me tell you about how the course is structured. Okay, we have structured this course in such a way that starting from a beginner, if even if you are a student who is very new to this field, who don't know how to even write code, you don't know how to start coding with Python, we'll start you from there and we'll take you to a level where you can work on even the specialized things: deep learning, machine learning, data analysis, NLP, computer vision. Okay, most of the things that we have discussed in the pipeline, we are having those things here. Okay, so there are two ways, as I've discussed. You can either take the approach of learning these things, but those things might take years for sure. Like that plan that I have just shared with you took me years to master, took me years to go through that. I'm not calling myself a master in that field because no one can be. It is a rapidly evolving industry. Every week, something new groundbreaking is coming in. Okay, but to give you a brief about this course, this is structured and going around kind of the same way, starting with Python to data analytics to data visualization, working with different tools, web scraping, Tableau, Power BI, Tableau, SQL, uh, Excel, and in specialization, image processing, NLP, deep learning. So these are the things. And in every domain, we are having projects. In every module or some modules, we are having projects. Okay. And these four modules and these four chapters are basically just the chapters where I'm just focusing on the course recorded content. Apart from this, we are having a lot of other things as well. Okay, which is live classes. Every weekend you are going to have live classes with the industry mentors. Okay, where you are going to work on the projects. All the four different chapters we are having: Python, data analysis, machine learning, and specialization. Every weekend we are working on these live sessions. Four live sessions every weekend. Totally depend upon you, which field you are on, which topic you are in. You can go back and watch those live classes. You are having one whole year of live access to this course. So four classes per week, 52 weeks in a year roughly. So 200 plus live classes you are going to have. And just taking one live project in a week, you are going to have more than 50 projects that you are making on live. 30 plus project you are having on recorded. On weekly basis on Discord, we are sharing with you weekly assignments, so that rather than spoon feeding all these things, you will have practical knowledge of how different industries works, how data analysis you can perform on agriculture data, financial data, healthcare data, stocks data. So these are the things, if you're having a knowledge of, you'll become much better, whichever field you are going in. Okay, so make sure to check that out. We are having some great industry mentors. Arpit Jain is there. Rihan Shahid is there, who has more than like almost a decade of experience. Mohit is there, and myself is also there. Okay, currently the course price is 5,999. If you go and register, it is giving you 30% discount. But there is a special code which I'm going to share with you. That is DSC50. Okay, if you are going for that coupon code, you will get 50% off. 50% off you will get. But for that purpose, what you need to do, you need to you need to go for, let me go for DSA 50. DSA 50 is the coupon code. This particular coupon code is available for only the first five users. Only first five users. Rest of you will get only 30% discount. That's all. That's already there. Okay, so it's here. The coupon code is already mentioned. DSC 50. First five users only. So hurry up. And this is the guided path, the things that you need to have. And through this guided path till data analytics, you can easily prepare yourself in just 6 months. Just 6 months by putting some right efforts. 6 months, even if you are a pretty beginner who don't know even write to, who just know a very basics of Python, or if you don't know how to write code. Okay, we'll take you from there and we'll make you ready to work on as a data analyst. Okay, we are also providing placement assistance where there are some companies that are directly hiring from us. So we are going to share with you a lot of resources from where you can learn. Okay, so Nandan is saying, what is the difference between free and the paid GFG data science course? Okay, so in the free course, we are having articles of the videos, articles of the videos. we are going to provide you the codes because I have provided that in the GitHub only. Because on GitHub, we are having a lot of codes. Okay, so these are the things that you need to have a knowledge of. If you are having a knowledge of, you can directly work on that. But GFG paid course is also having live classes where on weekly basis you are going to have the direct interaction with mentors. You are going to have resume review session. You are going to have the session how to present your resume, how you can write, how you can like present yourself on social media platform like LinkedIn, right? So these are the kind of sessions, these are the kind of assistance you will get in the live, in the paid course. You will get assignment, project, doubt assistance, Discord group, and along with the recorded content as well, right? So these are the extra perks that you are getting if you're going for the paid one. Okay, so Sanko is saying the code isn't working. Okay, so let me uh, basically open this and tell you how you can proceed further with it. Okay, so here, if I'm going for data science, let me present my screen with you. Okay, so if I'm going for courses, if I'm going for data science live, if I'm writing sign up now, here you can write the details, save for later, and let's go with 9-1 for India. These are some basic details that you need to write. Write a number here. Okay, it is an invalid phone number. You need to have, right? You need to write a valid phone number. I'm not writing it because I don't want this to be happen. So what you need to do here, you can see the coupon code is already applied. What you can do, you can remove this coupon code, okay, and then you can write DSE 50, DSC 50, and then you can hit apply. Okay, DSC 50 is not exist. Okay, so why DSC 50 does not exist? That might be because the top 50 users, the top 5 users has already buy it. So that's why I was saying that this is how it should be done. Okay, or check it out, code isn't working. Okay, checking it out. Okay, so what you can do if you guys are having anything like if the code is still not working, we can see from the operation side like within 2 or 3 minutes if you can like add some more people into with this code, because it's already done. And that's great to see the enthusiasm you guys are having to learn data science. That's great. So you're checking it out. Okay, let's see. But at the meantime, let me tell you about the Geek Olympics. Okay, because I've given this information earlier about the coupon code. But what is Geek Olympics? Let me take you there. So Geek Olympics is, as the name suggests, Geek Olympics or 2023. It's gonna happen from 1st of July to 31st of July. Make sure to register here, because here every week or even every day we are having new offers coming in on different courses. Okay, so you can scroll down and here you can see we are having some coding events, GFG weekly. Okay, where you can win the prizes and medals. Okay, we are having hack wars. Okay, you can check that to build the project and applications in data science, machine learning. And this is the hackathon that we are currently working on. I tell you about that as well, how geekathon, how hackathon works. So currently we are working on data science hackathon. In data science and ML hackathon, we have given you an assignment and you need to work, like you need to make this assignment. This is basically a hackathon. Open the uh, it is basically on Olympics. So make sure to appear for, you make sure to register in that as well if you are interested in that, if you are having a knowledge in that. This will end on 31st of July, so you are having 20-21 days. Even if you want to learn and then work on it, you can go for that as well. There is a prize money associated to it as well, so make sure to make sure to go for that. Okay, so currently the sale is going on data structure and algorithms, cell-based data structure of algorithm with Python. And these are some sessions that are currently going on, so you can go through that as well. Like upcoming session is going to happen on tomorrow, art of data storytelling, right? So make sure to register yourself in these things so that you don't miss out anything. Okay, and along with that, you can also download. You must download the GFG now, GFG application. It's available on Android and iOS, both of them. Okay, this will basically help you to get notified about all the upcoming things. You can also take courses from here. You can learn anywhere, right? And you can download the courses, exclusive offers, especially we are having for you, and the special money we are having after Geek Olympics on Geek Olympics are these are some of them, and a lot more as well. Okay, so this is what Geek Olympics is. Make sure to register yourself in Geek Olympics as well. Okay, so so is there any guidance of teaching is done in DS and ML session? Okay, so if you are registered for that today morning we had a session. Okay, me and Prakash, who were the judges of uh, the geekathon of that hackathon. We have discussed about that. What are the possibility? We have brainstormed about the ideas. So we've discussed about a lot of things. So you can go and check that out. You need to register yourself. The recording is already being uploaded on the portal, so you can check that out. And those who have not registered, do register yourself. Okay, and those who want to proceed further with the data science course, the code is already shared with you. So just try with that code TSC50. Okay, and okay, so here you can see it's back. Okay, especially for you guys, that was done, I think, at that point of time, the first 5 users. But here you can see you need to remove the earlier coupon code, and DSC50 you need to apply, and here you can see coupon code apply. You can get it as low as 3,000 for almost 50, almost 200 live classes, 50 plus live projects, 20 plus recorded projects. Almost like every weekend, we are also going to share with you on assignments. So that is definitely going to be a value for money, more than value for money deal you guys are having. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. I'm hoping you guys are having a better understanding. I'm sharing the important links with you as well. Again, so here I'm sharing the plan link, the data science plan link that you need to have. Okay, but you can follow. Apart from that, I'm also sharing my the GitHub link, so that you can go there and watch the repositories. Okay, there are different codes that are written there. Apart from that, the Kaggle, you might need Kaggle as well, because on Kaggle there are a lot of people out there putting their data set in a lot of things. Okay, so I'm going with Kaggle, and the last thing, uh, like rest of the details are already mentioned. Okay, the details about Geek Olympics, the details about Geekathon, Hackathon, and thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. I'm hoping you have enjoyed the session, and I'll see you next time. And you can register yourself on Hackathon. There we are going to have a special dedicated session in learning the things as well, how to learn the art of deployment, the things we are going to have frequently on weekly basis sessions dedicated to the Geeks hackathon of web development and data science. So you guys can connect with me, or you can register yourself there, and we guys are going to have some special session there only exclusively for those people. So thank you so much, everyone, and thank you. Bye.